All right, guys, welcome back to a very special, hot and very dry hillside. As you can see, the grass is brown. It's 99 degrees right now, guys. Heat index is well over 100, almost 110 for about the past almost 2 months. Okay, so here in Central Appalachia, we are in a crushing drought. It has been the worst gardening year of my life. Not because I'm a bad gardener or forgot how to grow things, because it just hasn't rained, guys. It's been in the upper 90s every day. And if you're from Texas, I know it's normal, not here, but just look at this. I tried to grow some popcorn right here. It never did anything. It just kind of petered out and it's dead. These sunflowers probably did the best of everything. They're doing fine, but they're on their way out as well. I mean, just look at everything over here, guys. Tomatoes, they're super sad. I've had to water every single evening almost, to the point that it's almost basically a lost cause, because I'm basically keeping plants that are halfway alive, you know, growing with minimal return. However, there are two plants, guys, that have done fantastic in the heat, have done fantastic in the dry. They're actually thriving. They're my best producing plants of the entire property. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what is growing and give you a little bit of hope that even though it's hot, super hot, super hot, and very dry, there are some things that will still grow and produce for you. So let's go ahead and look at those right now. All right, so the first example is maybe not the best example, but nonetheless, here we are. So right here, you can see my echinaceas. I had some peonies right here. In the springtime, they did fantastic. They were blooming, they're beautiful, they were healthy. Now this right here, guys, this is actually a pomegranate. If you've never seen one grow before, I've grown this from seed. This is on year number 3. It's kind of shaded out by these trees behind me, so it doesn't get completely full sun. But look at this, guys. It is a plant native to the Middle East, to Iran, to Afghanistan, Pakistan even. So it's going to be used to this hot, dry, arid environment. So in the past week or so, everything else is basically given up. We're at the point of just the plants giving up and dying off. This plant, this pomegranate, is actually taking off. It has grown, I'm not kidding you, this much growth right here in the last 2 weeks. We've had no rain. We've had nothing but searing heat and just oppressive temperatures every single day. High humidity some days completely dry. This pomegranate does not care. So if you want to know if you can grow pomegranates in the just 6B, 7A kind of transition area, in my experience, I've done pretty well with this one so far. So let me show you a couple other pomegranates I have growing and show you some that I've grown from seed as a comparison. Let's go ahead to the front of the house and show you how those things are looking right now in all of this heat. All right, so this one is actually planted in a much better spot here in full sun, full southern exposure. This is actually year 2 for this little pomegranate. It is doing healthy, guys. It is flourishing. It is vibrant. It's green. It doesn't even realize that there's a drought going on. Just like this little sunflower that's right next to it that I didn't plant, that came up from probably a bird or I'm not sure what. But I mean, look behind me, guys. These dahlias. I used to be having just amazing dahlias, tons and tons of blooms. Everyone would comment how beautiful they are. This year, they are just absolutely just toast. You know, you can't water these guys enough to keep them alive. Same right here with these dahlias. They are just suffering and just succumbing to the drought. So that being said, don't give up, guys. There are plants that are adapted to your climate. If you live in a dry area like Texas, Arizona, New Mexico even, all right, grow plants appropriate for your climate. Don't grow something that is going to be, you know, you have zero chance to succeed. This is an off year for us, guys. Last year I didn't even water more than a handful of times. It rained so much. All right, last year this looked like a jungle. The plants were huge. They were massive, almost fell over. Tall flowers everywhere. It was fantastic. This year, not so much. But you know what? That's why you plant different things that do better in different situations. So let me show you some pomegranates I've grown from seed and got to talk about the last plant, which is the star of the show. So let's go ahead and look at that right now. All right, so these are some pomegranates that have grown from seed. Planted these this year back in about January, December timeframe, I believe. So yes, you can germinate pomegranates from seed from the store. I have proven right here how you can do it. There will be a video coming up very soon about how to grow your own pomegranates from seed, if that's something you're interested in. But I just want to give you guys a little show of like what to expect in the first year. They stay pretty small, but you know, they're healthy. They're very green. I water them probably, you know, just enough to keep them moist. You know, they don't really need a lot of water in the seedling stage, but they're not quite mature enough to be putting into the ground. So if you're in 6B, 7A, I'm technically in 7A now because the zones have transitioned. They put out a new map I'm not sure if you realize that or not, but I'm probably gonna keep these guys in the nice cold garage over winter, protecting from the worst of winter elements. And then sometime in the spring, once it warms up, about the time you plant your tomatoes, which is about Mother's Day for us here, maybe go to June 1st, give them a head start to make sure they're really, really healthy and prepared. These will then go into the ground for another growing season. So other than that, I mean, look around, guys. There are succulents, there are cacti, there are euphorbia, there are tons and tons of plants. So if you don't have a lot of water, consider growing something else. Okay, now these are in containers because I can't bring them inside. Sorry, I cannot leave them outside. I definitely will bring them inside. Can't talk today, guys. It's too hot and it's just messing with the head right now. But check it out, man. So we've got some euphorbias, all these nice little spikes, some sedums, some euphorbias again. And yeah, even your snake plants, guys. I bring my snake plants outside every summer. They sit on the porch with some nice filtered sunlight. They do well. So a lot of plants you guys don't realize that we keep as house plants actually are from tropical areas or hot areas like South Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya for some of these snake plants. Okay, it's a very hot, arid climate there, so they are definitely used to that kind of climate. So when the rain barrels are basically down to a trickle, when you're almost out of the ability to water, you have to resort to using the hose, but you don't want to run your water bill up just infinitely. You don't have that kind of cash, that kind of money to spend on watering plants. Think about water-wise gardening. So let's go ahead and check out the final plant, the champion of this video. So the star of the show, guys, is the fig. Okay, now the fig has been around for thousands of years. It is from the Mediterranean, the Middle East, places like this where it has been grown for centuries. Okay, even longer than that even. But the fig does a fantastic job of growing in hot and dry climates. I have not watered this tree one single time. It's on a nice elevated rock ledge, so it does get free well drainage. Like I said, guys, it rained up until about maybe the end of June. The entire month of July, it's been 95 and above with zero rain. We might have had one day of a few sprinkles that mattered not at all. But you know what? One thing about the figs, when it's a hot, dry summer, they're actually sweeter. Okay? So if it rains a lot, it actually affects the flavor of your figs. They won't be as condensed with the sugars, so the hot, dry, just like with grapes, like for wine grapes, things like that, hot, dry climate like that's actually going to concentrate the sugars in the fruit, which leads to a better harvest of the crop. So let's go ahead and get up close, guys. I'm going to harvest a fig for you, show you just that even though it's hot, that it's dry, that there's nothing else growing, that you can, in fact, produce something of a harvest even in the worst of conditions that you've experienced in over a decade. So let me go ahead and get up really close, guys, and show you how to tell if your figs are ready to harvest, and we'll do a little taste test maybe. So let's check that out. All right, so if you've never seen a fig growing up close and personal, and you only think that figs are those dried out things and like cookie type things, this is what a ripe fig is going to look like. It's kind of actually soft. So that's why they don't ship well. They don't really get sold in the stores, because a truly ripe fig, guys, is going to be kind of squishy, and it's really not going to be something you're going to find that you'll be able to kind of prolong the harvest and kind of use it. So that's why they're always dried whenever you get them. So let me go ahead and break this thing open, guys, and give you a little taste test. All right, guys, so this is the fig. Now, if you've never had a ripe fig, you're going to be kind of blown away. Now look in the inside of this. Now, it may not be the most appealing looking fruit, and they come in different colors. There's some that are purple, some kind of violet, have little seeds inside like that. But guys, you just eat the whole thing, skin and all. It's actually fruity. A little bit of crunch from the seeds, not a big deal. It's almost like a kiwi fruit. But guys, that is super, super sweet and concentrated, okay? It's nothing at all like the dried, bland flavoring you get from like dried figs that are just sticky and they're tart or bitter even sometimes. Ripe figs, there's nothing better. So in a hot, dry climate, you know what? Why don't you grab some figs? You will not be disappointed. I have one last thing to show you before we wrap up this video. Thanks for sticking with me till the end of the video. I'm gonna show you one little quick bonus tip. All right, guys, my final tip for growing in an extreme drought conditions where you're at potentially, why not grow some prickly pear or edible cactus? Now, I've grown this, guys. Obviously, it is very young, has not produced any offshoots and or fruit, but cactus fruit is amazing. It's delicious. You can grow it, especially in a drought area. There are cacti that are native to the East Coast, West Coast, Southwest. Altunia, I believe it's called. Like this variety here will grow up to, like, I think, zone 4. So there's always a cactus that'll grow in your area, guys. Cactus fruit, you can even eat the cactus pads. They've been eaten traditionally for thousands of years. So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of hope that even though there's a drought, even though your summer had extreme heat, there are some plants like the fig, the pomegranate, and the edible prickly pear cactus to get you through. So hopefully you like this, guys. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. I'll see you next time here at the very, very, very hot and dry hillside. Thanks for watching. See you then.